Thank you very much for doing this, Dr. Randall. And again, the question here was just what advice would you give to the young people who are studying out their life that you think is important for them to keep in mind even as they grow in their education and just their life in general?
Well, there's a lot of advice that I would give to young people just starting their lives in education and pursuing a career. I look at moments in my life when I can tell when something important happened. Most of the time I didn't know until after the event how important that was to me in my life. And I always wondered, why didn't someone tell me? Why didn't I have someone to tell me what I needed to look out for when I was going through things? And I like to be able to give that to students and to people starting out in the pursuit of a career. Typically, pursuing a career takes a long time. You put a lot of investment in it, and you want to avoid common pitfalls, and you want to make all of the advantages for all of the opportunities that you get come to you. But here's the thing. Most of the time, you're going to have this instinct not to listen to anyone, and that's the exact wrong thing to do. You want to go out there and you want to be able to do it on your own, and you want to be able to show the world that you need no help to do a particular task. And I think that's one of the biggest fallacies that's out there. You cannot do it on your own. There are mistakes that people have made, and I think the first advice that I would give: learn from the mistakes of others so that you don't have to make those same mistakes. Imagine if you could just lessen the mistakes that you make by half by listening to someone else who's made those mistakes, how much more advanced you would be. So that would be my first bit of advice. Listen to people who are trying to show you the mistakes that they made so that you don't have to make those mistakes. The second piece of advice is really correcting something that many students probably learn when they're in high school or middle school in the public school. There's this idea that the instructor or the teacher is responsible for teaching you information. That's not true. The real truth is, as far as when you get to college, you are expected to be able to learn information. Professors typically present information. They would tell you about the information, but the actual learning happens when you sit down and decide, I'm going to learn this. So don't have the expectation in college that there's going to be someone who's always going to teach you something. Really, college is about learning how to learn. Learn how you learn and learn how you can teach yourself. And if you can learn to teach yourself and apply that, you will be able to do it all your life. There'll be nothing that you can't do if you learn to teach yourself.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Professor. That was really wonderful.